Now, talking for Box Nation, there was a whisper at one point that we were going to get that super fight, Mayweather-Pacquiao. That hasn't happened.
No, it's unfortunate for us. We did do it. We put a significant offer in, a big offer in, and it did take them a long time to make up their mind. So, ours was a serious offer. And I know that Sky moved heaven and earth to get it, and you can understand that. They're a major sports channel, and for them to have the biggest sporting event of the year on their channel is obviously what they wanted to do. It's a shame for us, but we're there. We're up. The fact that we're in there, we're bidding. The fact that we very nearly got the fight shows that we're serious contenders.
Well, as a fan, every time that payment comes out of my account to Box Nation every month, I cuss, but I wouldn't be without it. So we do appreciate all the efforts you're making on that regard. Talking about the fight, though, Pacquiao-Mayweather, how do you see that fight?
I fancy Mayweather. Probably as most people do, but I do think that in fights like this and significant fights like this, and when they're being sort of close rivalries, I think it brings something out the fighters, and I think that Manny Pacquiao's pride and his desire to win, I think, will make it a much better challenge than people think it. And one thing about him, he's a fighter that does apply pressure, and I know that Floyd's he's a very good boxer, he's a clever boxer, and he's a counter-puncher. But I think that, if you can really get to him, and people find it difficult, that's easier said than done. I think it could become quite interesting. If he can do what Dana did, and rough him up and so forth, who knows? And I know that Floyd in the first fight I think he took Dana a little bit lightly. Having said that, you've got to say his favourite, and if he's going to put my house on it.
Two last things. At the last fight with Chris Eubank Jr. and Chudnov, there was a whole issue about the neutral referee. What was the real story behind that?
Well, the situation was with the border control policy now, where a bit similar to what they do in Vegas, that officials where they can, referees will be British and they have a British judge, and we just couldn't agree on that, because for me it's not a no-brainer. I'd go with that because it saves me the cost of airfares, hotels, etc. But to bring fighters over here, and it was a voluntary defence by Shunov, you have to agree certain things with them. And one of the things that we agreed was the officials would be neutral, and unfortunately we got to sort of a bit of a standoff, but eventually with the help of the board, we got it on. At the time it was quite aggravating, but it's water under the bridge, and I think we all got a different footing there, and hopefully we don't get situations like that in the future.
The last matter before I let you get on, this new format, very exciting, Total Combat. We're seeing about it. Can you tell us anything about it? I mean, this.
Well, it's my son's baby. He's done Francis. He's done really well with it, and he came up with. He sort of worked very hard and helped develop it, and developed it into, I think, an exciting concept. They did the first show on BT a couple of weeks ago. They're doing another 2 shows next month, similar to what they've done. And I think with a view to doing a live show in June or July.
As a purist, I like the concept, but it's strange because it's new. From your perspective, Frank, you're an old guy in the world, like me.
And I am a purist, and I have my reservations about the distance, the 6 minutes and so forth. And you can look at it a couple of ways. If you look at a prize fighter scenario, a boxer will do 27 minutes of boxing if he gets to the final, when every fight goes the distance. If every fight goes the distance on this one, it's 18 minutes. It's an hour's break in between. Obviously, it's very strictly medically supervised. Francis would not go down unless that had been the case. Boxers have all the same, medicals that they would have if they were fighting under British boxing control regulations. Excuse me. It's the ring's obviously a different concept to me, because you can't really hide in that ring because of it's not a ring, it's an octagon shape. But it's interesting, and I think that at the end of the day, he's talking about doing this big show in June, July, and putting up purse money Well, the prize money will be somewhere near 750 to £1 million. If he does that, that's going to be quite a night, quite an exciting night. I think it's, I think it's talking. The feedback from the guys who fought the 6 minutes were okay with it. I know the UFC do 5 minutes. It's a minute more than that. It is Queensberry regular rules, so it's quite. I think it's quite exciting. My worry was the medical side of it. Of course, it's dangerous. Any contact sport's dangerous, and fingers crossed and please God that there aren't any problems with that. But I think it's. I can't say it's the 2020 of boxing. But it's that sort of concept. If it catched on, it seemed the audience they had liked it. The feedback they've had, certainly from younger people, has been very positive. And so I'm his dad, so I want to make sure I want it to work for him. I'm sort of quite excited for him and what he's done, and hopefully it will go on and develop, and hopefully he'll have a big win on his hands. I think he will do. I think it's going to go places. So he's got good partners there. Robert Earl from Planet Hollywood who owns Planet Hollywood. He's a partner in it, and talking about doing one in the States sometime in the autumn. So as I say, it's going to be quite interesting.
Well, we look forward to that. We certainly look forward to the show on May the 9th. And Frank, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, Robert, as always.
Thank you so much.
What? 11 minutes.